So I did a 10-book pre-screen to CGC, and they're back. Now, sometimes the books I send to CGC are obvious 9.8s. Well, not so much in this submission. 3 of them I thought were obvious 9.8s. The other 7, mostly borderline. At least 9.6 on all, but maybe 1 I thought was probably a 9.4 in my opinion. But I'm usually pretty conservative, so if I get anywhere near 9.8 on my judgment, I'll go ahead and submit it as a pre-screen normally. But it really all just depends on what is the 9.4 and the 9.6 value. Some books have a massive gap between value between a 9.6 and 9.8. Those books sometimes are not worth submitting unless they are a 9.8. So that's what's good about pre-screens. We send a book that's worth $50 as a 9.6 and $500 as a 9.8 to CGC because we won't make any money on a $50 book, but we'll make a lot of money probably on that $500 book. So that's the whole goal with pre-screens. And then when the book comes back, didn't get the 9.8, well, I'm out $9 in shipping costs, but at least I didn't spend the full 23, 25, whatever, $30 usually. And I could just add that book to the PC or just sell it as a 9.4, 9.6 raw copy. And somebody will gladly add it to their collection and we won't lose nearly as much money. So yeah, that's pretty much how I look at it when I buy and sell comic books. Now, everybody has their own methodology out there. I buy usually off eBay, clean and press, sometimes submit. I probably look at 300 books before I will buy one or even bid on one on eBay. So I spend a lot of time scrolling through listings on eBay. So yeah, for every 1,000 books I look at, I might end up buying 5, 6, and then when they come in, 3 of those might be 9.8 candidates. So you can imagine how much time I spend. Now maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit on that 1 in 300, but I have days where I spend 3 or 4 hours and I don't buy one book. It's just crazy. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It is fun to still do that, to try to find that diamond in the rough or whatever. So let me know in the comments, how do you go about finding books? Are you looking on eBay? Are you looking at yard sales? Are you going through the dollar bins at your comic shop? What are you doing to find books to add to your collection or clean and press or submit to CGC? Whatever you do decide to do with those books. So yeah, let me get these unboxed and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I've got them open down there. I haven't looked at them. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 books in there. 6 out of 10. Not the best, but not bad either, considering I only thought 3 of the books were going to be solid 9.8s. So yeah, I've got some pretty nice books in here, some pretty big keys, some pretty high dollar books. So if we got the right ones as 9.8s, this could be a nice submission. But regardless, we'll take it. Whatever it is, it is. Whatever the CGC gods have done for us today, we'll just have to accept. 6 is certainly better than 2 or 3, but usually we like to get 7 or 8. But that's okay. I knew this was going to be a stretch submission when I sent it in, so yeah, I'm just tickled to death really to have those 6 books. So let me just pull at random here, and let's see what happens. Okay, number 1. Okay, Secret Wars number 1. I thought this one was an obvious 9.8. I paid a lot of money for this. I actually bought this as a 9.6 slab that I thought it was an obvious 9.8. In fact, before I even cracked it, I thought it was a 9.8. Harsh Harry got a hold of this one and gave it a 9.6. So I just had to undo that wrong. I cracked it. Just basically, I went ahead and pressed it. There was like a tiny little bend somewhere. Not enough to not make it a 9.8, but I went ahead and did it anyway. So yeah, obvious 9.8 now for sure. But yeah, really, really cool book. Secret Wars number 1. All right, number 2 here. Let's see, let's take something from the middle. All right. Okay, the number 306. Newsstand edition, Amazing Spider-Man. The homage to Action Comics number 1. Very, very, very cool book. One of my favorite covers. I've already got a 9.8 direct, but I do not have a newsstand 9.8. Now this is off-white to white pages, which is really common on this book, but that's fine. We got the 9.8. Probably definitely a PC book here. Probably keep both. I mean, I'm trying to get the entire McFarlane run in a 9.8 for Amazing Spider-Man. So always happy to add a newsstand, which is a lot harder to find in a 9.8. I paid $45 for this one. I thought it was a 9.6 borderline. And a newsstand is worth quite a bit of money. So very, very happy to add this to the collection as an investment. And because I like it. All right, that's 2. 4 more. What do we got here? I got a feeling this is a big book. I got a good feeling. Okay, it is a big book. Yes. Holy cow. This is a ginormous, oh, I hate that word. This is a gigantic book in a 9.8. Why do I use words I don't like? Somebody tell me. Anyway, newsstand. Amazing Spider-Man 252. Just soak it in. This is a PC book. For sure, I do have this direct. Actually, do I have this in a 9.8? I don't know. I've got a 9.2. Is a 9. I think my highest grade copy is a 9.2 up there on the wall. So I'm just blowing that one out of the water, and it's a direct. This might be worth so much money I might have to sell it. No, I have to keep this book. I have to keep this book. I did not expect this. This one, I thought was a strong 9.6. And I thought it had maybe a 30% chance. That's just my guesstimation of getting the 9.8. Wow. Let me see what I wrote in my notes here. Okay, of all the newsstand copies and probably directs that I've ever seen, this was the nicest copy I'd ever held. And to get it for the price that I did, I bought it as a slab, as a 9.6 for $500. I mean, that was a pretty good investment. I was going to, if it came back, ungraded, I probably would try a pre-screen one more time as a 9.6 pre-screen, because I'm perfectly happy having it in the 9.6, and I would keep it long term. But to go ahead and get the 9.8, holy cow, that looks good. Wow. This is an awesome book. Yeah. Who doesn't want this book in a 9.8, right? So, whoa. Let's go ahead and move on. I think that might be the biggest book in the whole batch, so yeah. It was a good submission. Everybody have a... I'm just kidding. We're going to go ahead and do the 3 other books. I wish I could order this where that was last, though. You know how it goes, but I can't. But there are actually a couple more pretty big books in here, though. Close to this one. So let me go ahead and keep digging here. All right, so the next one. Okay, Captain America number 332 newsstand. It's worth about $250, I think. I did only pay $20 after shipping and taxing on this book. So very, very cool. This is a $250 book, so I did pretty well on it, I would say. Probably $50 into the book total. So I'll make a tidy little profit on this one. Definitely going to sell it. I'm not a big Captain America collector, but somebody out there will love to have this newsstand beautiful copy, 9.8 white pages. Okay, 2 more. Let's dig in. All right. What do we got? Okay, Spider-Man number 64. Actually, Spectacular Spider-Man number 64. This is a pretty big book. Origin and first appearance of Cloak and Dagger. And I couldn't believe I found this book in the grade that it was in. I got it for $60. That's after shipping, taxes, and everything. I did not pay $60. I paid something like $45, but then shipping and taxes, of course, adds on. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Did get off white to white pages, but I actually have in my notes here, it's probably off white to white. I wasn't going to do any kind of crazy whitening to this book. I don't really do that anymore much. Occasionally just like a sun shadow with some distilled water or something. I'll put it in a light box. But other than that, I usually just leave them alone. So last book. There's a couple big ones still left in here. And I got a feeling we're not going to get the 9.8 on those. But if we get the right one here, let's see. All right. Very, very happy to have this one. This one will be a PC book. I have a 9.6 on the wall right here, white pages. This is 9.8 off white to white. I can't tell the difference. These have the same exact interiors. They could either one get the off white to white. It's just whatever the grader's mood is that day, I believe. Some graders just give more off white to white, and some just give more white pages, I've noticed, because I've seen some that I thought were obvious off white to white pages that got the white, and vice versa. So that is it. Very successful submission. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I sent this submission in, and it took 7 weeks to come back. That's a little unusual, but you know, it seems like they've slowed down a little bit since the holidays and everything. So I'm not sure what's going on there. They were cooking along fast for a while, but slowed down lately. Tell me in the comments, how fast has CGC been for you? Have they been a little bit slow as well for you? But anyway, that is it. This one was a lot of fun. Look forward to getting the next submission in. So stay nerdy, and I'll see you in the next video.